Right, finally here we are to see most exciting feature of this custom keyboard, which is tasker automation. So what's the use of it? It can be used as a expander, and you can use it as a translator and calculator or currency converter, like whatever you like. And the imagination is your limit. Like you can use a task to return something to this keyboard, and the returned value will be typed automatically once your pattern is matched perfectly. So let me show you the info page, and let me tell you, this is the info page for this tasker automation section for this am custom keyboard. But also am tasker plugins also have this info page for each and every plugin it has. The entire thing looks similar. You need to know that there's a box, yellow color box like thing, variable references. This is same for each and every this is means the structure is same for each and every plugins. So the variable, each and every plugin will show their own variable it will create on the run. So in this case it will create text1, text2, keyword. So these are the most important three variables which this uh, tasker automation am custom keyboard creates. So this request id is not used by externally, it will use internally, so you don't worry, have to worry about it. So let me talk about this text1, text2, and keyword. Before we start talking about this one, let's keep these three in mind, and I will let you know once the time comes. So just open the tasker automation, you will see this entire JSON file. So there's a thing in you need to learn something called patterns and keyword in this JSON file format. Okay, so what is pattern? These two are pattern: am append, amck append, amck replace. These two are patterns, which is at and has. You can just change these to anything you want. Like I would like to have this at and has. So on the other pattern, it is called amck patterns, which have the prefix and suffix. So let me explain one by one. So what these append at do. So let me take a look and explain it. So let me type something. If I type at, the game keyboard will be ready to launch some task once you are typing the actual keyword. So what is keyword? These are the keywords: the test, the uc, the lc, and cc. These are the predefined keywords. So once you type test, this keyword doesn't work inside this tasker automation. So it is outside this environment it will work. So when you type this, the entire thing is called pattern. Okay, this test alone is keyword. So this is the keyword which is sent to tasker as a keyword variable once you type this entire pattern. Okay, so the keyword is test in this case. Now you understand it. So once you type this pattern, what it does, it recognize the test keyword, and it recognize the task, which is test task. In this case it will run this test task, and whatever the value which replace the which send back the test task will be replaced with this test, the entire pattern. Okay, so that's what it happens. So it is append. Like if you type the replace keyword has test, what it does, it run the test task again. In this case, because we are typing the test keyword and the test task again, so the whatever the test task replaces and send back, it will replace the entire text in this text field. In this case, this entire text. So it will be replaced from the task return value. Okay, uh, I know you it's barely makes sense. Let's take it a live look at it. Okay, press ok and go back and find the test task. Here's the test task. So what it is doing, first initially I typing the test one. I am flashing the test one, and sorry, text one and text two and the keyword. Okay. Then I am returning a text with the am custom keyboard return. So you can just add the action from plugin am tasker plugins. By the way, if you don't have this one, you can just download it from my official GitHub page. I will leave the link in the application itself. I will show it on when I go back to the am custom keyboard. Okay, so you have to add this one. After it, whatever you type it, this is from tasker task test. Okay, press ok and go back, and we can delete this. This is from tasker task text. This is what which is which the am custom keyboard get when it type the pattern. Okay, so save it and go back to some text editor. Once I type at test, what it does, it quickly replace the text from that return value. Okay, if I press backspace once, it will remove the replaced text and give back our pattern again. So again, if I type at test, it will replace it. So, and one thing, if you notice, if I type at and test, you can see the flash is showing up. In this flash, the text one equal to hi, this is sample text, and some new lines, and text 2 is not set, and keyword is test. Because we type the keyword type test is typed, then the test task is run, and in the test task the text one is set up to the text before the keyword, something like that, and keyword is test itself, and the text 2, there is nothing for the text 2, because we are typing the keyword the pattern at the end of line. So in case if we type the keyword inside here at test, so once I type the last t, and these letters before the pattern is called text 1, the letters before after the pattern called text 2. So now if I type t here, you will see, oh, again I just clicked away, so it doesn't work. So we have to type it again, like at test. So as you can see, test 1 is hi, this is text 2 is sample text. So if I type backspace once, it will get back our pattern. Now you can see the keyword is test also. So this is how it works. So what it does, again test, it just replace the pattern we typed. Okay, in case if we want to replace the entire text on the field, what we can do, go back and see the replace keyword is has replace pattern is double hash. So use that double hash. So has test. When we do this, it entirely replaces the returning text from the test task. So again, if we type has and type test, what it does, it again run the same task, and it return taking the same values, or we can just use some bat, like variable, global variable. It will bring up the battery percentage. So uh, it will take the entire text and replace it with the value. Like now currently my battery percentage is 33. So this is what's happening here. So this is how you can use these append and replace. And for to use these two, you have to have a uh, like predefined keywords for it. So how you can use it practically, but before using that, let me talk about this timeout. So sometimes you want to have you want to wait for few minutes, before few seconds, to return the value, right? Currently we have 500 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. So let me go back and here just remove this return. Okay, so currently what it does, when I run it, there is nothing returning from this task. Okay, let me type it again. Test. It will wait for 5 seconds for the task to return some value. If there is nothing written in 5 seconds, the pattern again printed here. So that is what the timeout is useful for. So in case if there is a timeout, you can just set it up. You don't have to wait a long time to replace something. So you can utilize this timeout. You can change these timeout values to 15,000 for 15 seconds, something like that. So let me use this practically. So in this case I am going to use uh, change case task. So this task can be run in three predefined patterns: at uc, lc and cc. Okay, or has uc uppercase, lc lowercase, cc means camel case. So let me go back to the text file, and if I want to convert this into uppercase, entire uppercase, let me show you the task first. The change case task is here. So as you noticed, what it does, this initially set the text to text 1. So text 1 value will be set to text, and again I am setting the text 2, and I am just appending the value, not replacing the value, appending to test again. And also, if only append it only when text 2 is set. Okay, so what it does, the text will having the entire text of the input text. So now we will look at the keyword which is typed. So if the keyword is use uppercase, then convert the text into uppercase and store it on the result. And in this case, if it is a lowercase, then store it, convert it to lowercase, entirely lowercase, and store it on result. And if the case is keyword is camel case, then what it does, we are using one of our tasker plugin, I mean am tasker plugins, am regex plugin, and we are taking the text input as an input, and we are just capturing the first letter of each word and replacing it with uppercase. That's what we are doing here. If you want to know about these am tasker plugins, you can just look at the other videos of mine. So then it will produce a value replaced value. We are just applying the replaced value to the result, and finally outside of the if block, we are just sending the keyboard the result. So whatever we called, it will be replaced here. So go back here and let me do. If I type at lc, the entire text will be converted into lowercase. If you want to, if you don't want to have new lines or newly created lines here, instead of at you can just type has, so it will be replaced entirely. If I type lc, all the things converted into lowercase. Okay, so if I type uc, the entire thing will be converted into uppercase. Okay, so let me convert it entire thing into lowercase first. Okay, once that done, now we let's create a camel case. Has cc, all the first letter will be going to uppercase this time, you see. So this is how you can practically use this one. So hope you understand so far, and let me show you the one last thing, which is am patterns. So in the above case, you need to have a predefined keywords. Okay, test, uc, lc, something like that. But in some cases you always want to have a dynamic input, like use as a calculator, something like that. You need to have a dynamic pattern, dynamic keywords. Okay, so you cannot type all the possible keywords like 5 plus 3, something like that. We want to read that as a dynamic input. So for that you can use this last section. So currently I have only one pattern, like this json file. You can see this section, the prefix is double equals, and the suffix is space. So whenever I type something in between them, what it does, it will run the task named math, do math. And for example, let me type equal to, if I type, let me type it here, so you can clearly see. If I type equal to 6 plus 5, if I type space, because there's a space here, there's a space here, if I type space, what it does, it currently takes this keyword between this pattern, which is 6 plus 5, to the to the act task, do math. Okay, the do math will be taking the 6 plus 5 as a keyword variable, as a keyword equal to 6 plus 5 in this case. So with this keyword, we can just do the calculation, and the do math will return some value, the calculated value, and it will replaced like earlier we does. So let's do it on the task actually. So if you want to have different patterns here, you can just copy it and put comma here and paste it here and create different patterns, like and you can just you can also use a new line character by backslash n, and or you can use translate, something like that. You can do multiple things. So whenever you type something like this, uh, uppercase and some text and new line, new line means enter, it will run the task named translate, and whatever the task returns, it will replace the typed keyword. Okay, so keep this in mind and press ok. Now our pattern is equals, and we need to type something and type space, and the do math task will run. So let's open the do math and see what it does. As I said, do math will get a variable called keyword, which is the calculation pattern, something 7 into 3 or 7 plus 3, something like that. We type it, and we are saving this keyword value to the math, but we just doing the math, do math enabled. So if there is a calculation, the calculation will be done, and math will be holding the output value, the final result. And in the am custom keyboard return, the math is returned. We are just typing equal as a string, and actual calculation on front. So whatever we type, if we type 5 plus 3, it will be like 7 plus 5 equal to 10, 7 plus 3 equal to 10. This is something like it will replace something like this. So once it done, let's go back and let's test it live. So let me type equals and 6 plus 3, and if I type space, suddenly it becomes 6 plus 3 equal to 9. So if I type backspace, it will return back the value we type. So you can just do any calculation you like. Plus, okay, minus 6, type equals, the total the final answer is 64. It will do something like that. This is some kind of weird magic. So if you want, like if you want to have a calculator like things, you can just do it. Also this thing also returns like a text 1 percentage text 2 also. So let's check if it is doing its job. And equal to 1 plus 1, as you can see, this is from tasker, the this is set to text 1. So it is working, the text 1 text 2 also returning, I mean also coming to this task by the dynamic keywords patterns. So you can make use of it, like you can use it as a translator, like I said, or whatever you like. The imagination is your limit. So hope you like this video. And one more thing, if you don't know about my get am tasker plugins, like how you can get this plugin, you can just take a look at this plugin. So these are all the plugin the am tasker plugin contains. If you want to have that plugin, it is free. Just click it and download this one and install it. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.